The first watch I remember ever owning, I received as a Christmas present back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was a Christmas gift from my Oma and Opa. It was pink, which wasn't really my favorite color, but I loved it nonetheless. I also got a few Harry Potter Barbies, so best Christmas ever, honestly. I slid the watch on and then decided to wrestle with my Opa because he really loved WWE. The watch snapped off and broke, and I pretty much never purchased a watch for about another 20 years. In 2016, I decided to finally get my first watch. It was the Apple Watch. I bought it open box from Best Buy. It was the Generation 2, and it was fine until a really close family member of mine passed away, leaving me with a heck ton of watches, their watch collection. So I obviously don't know almost anything about watches, so just keep that in mind. If you have any tips for me or any resources for me, please let me know because I am just learning. So I do have a few stories of where the watches were purchased and where they were found or whatever. So if you're interested, I'll kind of add that in there. And if you're not, you can just, mute the video. I won't be offended. So first up is this Halmo extra flat 30 joules unbreakable mainspring anti-magnetic Inca block automatic watch. That was a wordful. Now the bands were mostly replaced, either because the bands before were broken or they didn't come with a band. Just keep that in mind. This one's in pretty good shape and I actually have started wearing this. This next one is one of my favorites. It's a Wittnauer electric. Now from the basic research I did, the movement is 4750 electric movement and it's around the early 60s. So this one I really enjoy wearing. It's not in perfect condition, but none of these watches are. This next one is a Hamilton, I would say circa 1960s as well. I don't really wear this one as much, but I still absolutely love the minimal design of this. This was purchased at a yard sale actually. And the band was again replaced like pretty much all of them have been. Now I pretty much like all the watches, but this one has to be my favorite. So this one is from the 1970s, around 74, 75. It's a Seiko automatic 25 joule. And look at that crystal, is that what you say? Crystal, the glass. It's so unique and I absolutely love wearing this, especially around Christmas time. The next two pieces I don't wear, but I definitely appreciate the aesthetics of them, and this is one of them. It's a Hamilton from, I would say, the 30s or 40s. It's got a really cool Art Deco kind of vibe. I was actually going to sell this watch, and I had someone lined up ready to buy it, but then I kind of just changed my mind. I thought, you know what, this is so cool. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to hold on to it, and I'm happy I did. It's beautiful just to look at, and I have one from the 60s or 50s, and now one from the 30s and 40s. Next up is this one from 1941. I didn't even have to do any research. It's a Westfield Trojan. It's a beautiful watch. And again, I don't wear it, but I love to look at it and just kind of see it in the case. And lastly is this Birks watch. I think the eye's actually missing. It's gold. I'm not a huge fan of gold accessories, but again, I do appreciate the aesthetics and the design of this watch. So I just wanted to also show you just what the watches look like on a wrist, I guess. I don't know. It's just kind of just a rundown of all the watches while I'm wearing them, just so you can kind of see different angles that you might have not seen previously. Now, like I said before, all of these watches were purchased used or secondhand at yard sales or thrift stores or estate sales. No watch in this collection, from what I know, was purchased for more than $100. So that's fantastic. And some of them have a nice price tag you could sell them for. That's really not my intention. I like to hold on to them just because they're beautiful to look at, and it's a great way to remember the loved one who passed away. It is absolutely fascinating that all of these watches have pretty much survived the test of time. Some of them from the 30s and 40s, some of them from the 50s and 60s, and they still look relatively new, I guess you could say. It's really made me realize that designer watches or watches like that are really kind of crap and really shouldn't be purchased even if you have the money to do so. Antique watches are so beautiful and they usually work pretty much perfectly. And also the aesthetics and the uniqueness. And also, just a note, all of the watches except for the Seiko are Swiss made, which is fantastic. Just imagine this $15 Wittnauer that you buy at an estate sale or yard sale compared to a Swiss made watch today. You can't beat the price. You can't. I do also have a Timex, a Russian watch, and a Bulova, but none of them are working currently. So yeah, that's pretty much the video. Hopefully you didn't cringe too much about my lack of knowledge. Thanks so much for watching.